Now, welcome to another edition of News from Naboo with Thor's Lightning Takes. And let's get right to the news.
I know I promised to talk about Jad Nanawood today from Skeleton Crew, but, well, the news waits for no one, and this one is an interesting
It's a weird one.
piece of
Yeah.
news. I
And
like the headlines I saw. It's like, shocker!
we'll talk about Jod tomorrow. That's still
Yeah,
coming.
we'll get to him. He's still important to us. The breaking news is that Ryan Gosling is in talks to star in Sean Levy's Star Wars movie. What? Why is Ken coming to Star Wars?
I don't think of him as Ken.
Can he sing the I'm Just Ken song?
No.
Can he be Ben Kenobi and he can be like, I'm just Ben?
Oh,
Kidding. No, that's gonna.
this feels very strange. Like, I have nothing against him at all.
I mean, he's
I've only seen him in a few
three-time
things.
Oscar nominee. I mean,
He's a great actor. Again, I have nothing personally against him at all. He's fine. The few things I've seen him in have been really good. He's like in Blade Runner 2049. There's a few other things. I do wonder if this is an attempt to kind of like they were doing for a while there with the directors and the writers, where the what's hot now. If you try to get a big name actor in there to try to sell it that way.
You know, maybe this would be a Ryan Reynolds type moment because Sean Levy worked with Reynolds quite a bit. They're like friends. But instead he's going Ryan Gosling as like the star of this Star Wars project. Not like a side actor, not a cameo, not a Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah.
But the star of this.
It feels weird. I mean, Lucas always kind of tried to avoid big names, or if you put big names in there, like a Samuel L. Jackson, they're not exactly a main character.
I mean, he did, for the prequels, they did get Liam Neeson out of
but Liam
his
Neeson,
work in Schindler's List.
Yeah, but I don't know that Liam Neeson was Ryan Gosling, or,
no. Usually they do take kind of more obscure people who are up and coming.
Yeah.
Not
Ewan
somebody
McGregor
well
was kind of an up-and-comer.
Yeah,
they don't tend to take the big... I think he's one of the bigger male actors in the world, right?
He's well known.
Like 5 or 3 even. He's like a Tom Cruise type or a Leonardo DiCaprio.
Whoa.
And I don't think he's quite in their league. Let's not get into like the tier list of actors, but he's like an A-list, kind of almost S-tier actor, isn't he?
He's well known by most people.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean Levy's been working on this project since 2022, and Jonathan Tropper, who worked on other projects with Levy, has been working on this script for over a year. So do they finally have something to pitch? You don't just go up to Ryan Gosling and be like, hey, be the star of this movie. No, we don't know what it's about yet. We haven't written it.
I mean, he might be a Star Wars fan.
I know, but does this mean... Because usually you approach with a pitch or an idea, so that means there's a general outline at least for this thing, right?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. You don't go to a top-tier actor and be like, you want to be in this? I don't have anything, but do you want to be in it?
Star Wars has been a bit more tumultuous of late, so going, hey, do you want to be in a Star Wars isn't the same.
No, it's not what it used to be. Well, I think it's always been something where you realize if you're going to... I mean, ever since the first one, right? No one knew what New Hope was going to be. But nobody knew what it was going to be back then. But nowadays, even if it's like great, you realize your life is going to be different. Because we always joke about it. Every time a Star Wars actor does an interview, they always get asked about Star Wars.
Could that be why they're going after a more established actor? I mean, if he comes out of this other side and turns out it was bad, it's not really going to affect his career that much. He's still going to be Ryan Gosling.
I think he's someone that can kind of brush it off. Kind of like Harrison Ford isn't necessarily just Han Solo, right?
Kind of how every actress tried to brush off Madam Web.
Well, that's a different thing. That's a different stench, shall we say. Even though we enjoyed watching that together.
For other reasons than the plot.
Well, but I mean, he's somebody, if the movie was bad, he's going to... He dodges the manure, right? He's going to be just fine. Whereas if you are an up-and-coming actor and you are in a Star Wars movie that everybody hates, it could affect your career quite a bit.
We don't know when Levy's project is set. We don't know anything about it, really.
No, we know nothing about that
we know,
That's one of the ones where they have said, like, nothing.
What's interesting is, obviously we know when the Manda movie is set. We know when the Mangold movie is set. Sean Levy's is, like, a mystery.
We do know it is outside the Skywalker saga. That is the one thing we've heard about it. Whatever. I mean, that means... It could be anywhere, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be standalone. That's
that too.
The rumor out there. But there are sources that say that Ryan Gosling's development is a late-in-the-game move for Levy's movie schedule. That the filmmaker was kind of eyeing to direct a boy band movie set up at Paramount, which would have reunited him with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. But Gosling's interest and involvement shifted into this Star Wars project, which is making it go nuts.
Wait, were we gonna get a boy like a reunion from like a '90s boy band getting back together today kind of thing, and we're gonna have like Ryan Reynolds and
Well, Sean Levy was supposed to be working on this other
I
one
love you
with.
just ignoring that. I found
No, I'm saying Sean Levy was supposed to be working on this boy band movie with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden,
Star Wars calls, and he answered.
No, I mean Gosling must have just gotten involved and approached them because the quote directly from the article that this exclusively came from says, sources say the Gosling development is a late-in-the-game move for Levy's movie schedule. The filmmaker, meaning Sean Levy, was eyeing to direct a boy band movie set up at Paramount, which would have reunited him with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. But Gosling's interest and involvement suddenly shifted the Star Wars project into hyperspace. Getting Gosling involved in this project means now this project is going to go crazy.
I get you now.
Which means Sean Levy's not going to have time to make his boy band movie.
So he was originally going to do that first, and he was kind of had Star Wars on the back burner, and then Ryan Gosling's like, hey, I want to be in Star Wars, and he's like, whoa, okay, that's my new priority.
Yeah, because Gosling getting involved means we need to move.
He backburnered Deadpool and Wolverine for Ryan Gosling.
Hey, they were just going to be a boy band. It's not the...
I think it sounds hilarious.
Well, it doesn't say that somebody else won't make it. It's just Sean Levy won't be.
I know. I'm just saying that's interesting news, I guess.
With this timeline possibly going insane now because of getting an A-list actor who's going to have his own timeline of events to keep in mind, means that this movie, Levy's movie, could be the next Star Wars movie going into production. It could potentially start rolling this fall.
Yeah, I mean, you'd have to, right? He's, I'm sure he's in high demand, obviously, and if Levy is moving all his attention to that, you would think it would be fairly soon, relatively soon.
Well, keeping Star Wars timelines in mind, Mandalorian and Grogu wrapped in mid-December and releases in 2026. So if this one starts filming in the fall,
it could be.
We're looking at what, 2027 possibly?
Like Christmas 2027, yeah. Maybe. So, I mean, I think that's generous, but maybe May of 2028.
Yeah, and like you talked about, this is a rare time that they're bringing an A-lister into Star Wars straight off the bat, which is so strange.
I mean, they did that with the OT, don't get me wrong, like a Peter Cushing and Alec Guinness. They were prestigious actors, but I don't know they were like a Ryan Gosling type actor.
What else is interesting to note is Gosling was like name-checked for a Star Wars part back in 2013 because rumors were spreading online that he and Zac Efron were being eyed by Abrams to be Kylo Ren.
Oh my God, Zac Efron is Kylo. I mean, I like Zac Efron too.
They were apparently both being like online rumor and eyed up, where we obviously know Adam Driver got the role.
Yeah.
So interesting times.
That's now I'm stuck thinking about Zac Efron as Kylo Ren.
I'm just Ben. I don't know. We still could have had.
I'm just Ren.
Well, he was still Ben.
Yeah, Ben and Ren.
See, it would have been a great song. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. Let's move on to something we can touch on.
Corner. Yeah, we haven't done this in a while.
Because there was some collector's news. Vintage collection and Black Series figures got newly announced here.
A couple, yeah. It was a pretty sparse showing, but they said they were going to have it was a live stream yesterday morning at 10 a.m. or 11, whatever.
Yeah, for Vintage, we got the Mandalorian Super Commando.
Which I thought we already had.
Yeah. Balin Skull.
Which you thought they would have already made.
Shin Hati with, no, don't worry, they didn't fix the hair.
At least she's not like 20 feet tall like the Black Series version, right?
From the pictures, her saber looks more orange than Balin's. I'm just putting it out there.
I just love that the Black Series version of those two, like, she's as tall as he is. Like, she's a monster, yeah.
501st Clone Trooper and a Battle Droid 4-pack.
Yeah, which is cool. I like those battle packs that they do.
And then, in disappointing news, in my opinion, I think it's disappointing. For the Black Series, only 2 figures got announced, which is disappointing unto itself. They're both from the Ahsoka series.
Sort of.
One of them is Anakin Skywalker, World Between Worlds flashback version.
Very specific, yes.
Yeah.
It looks good, though. It actually looks like a really good figure.
But they could have made the kind of, I don't know, they took literally one of the flashback versions instead of using the one that she was actually fighting in the World Between Worlds. I think that's the version they should have made.
Yeah, I think so.
But they made him, and they made the flashback version of Rex.
Yeah, a Phase 1 Rex, who is kind of in there. He's
but
like
he doesn't
background.
take his helmet off.
No, he's just there, looking Rexy.
Looking Rexy. I'm again disappointed with the lightsaber because it doesn't look very translucent. It just looks very blue. And like I said, it's the wrong... I just feel like they should have given you the option to have the World Between Worlds fight version. Maybe give you an alternate head with Sith eyes and a red saber so that you could...
That costs them extra money. That's an extra 20 cents that they would take off.
They charge enough for the figure. They can give me a little more plastic, I think.
They would have called that a deluxe figure and charged you $33 for it.
No.
I know, I'm half kidding. But no, I agree. It's a cool looking figure. I don't know that it's the figure I would have been like, yeah, make a Clone Wars flashback from Ahsoka, Anakin.
They could have just made World Between Worlds Anakin. I would have been happier with that. Because then you could have it fight your Ahsoka.
The Phase 1 Rex is kind of cool. I'll give it that. But again, it's one of those, like, you're just reusing another figure. It's not really new.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we're going to call it right there. That is all we got for you this time. Now it is your turn. Take to the comments below. Let us know what you think of any and all of today's news. Let us know what you think about Ryan Gosling potentially being the star of a Star Wars movie. Whatever the case may be, leave those comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars, and until next time, thanks for watching.